Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm finally showing you how I do my kind of everyday makeup, and this is what it is. So kind of my big winged eyeliner. So I finally got round to filming this, and it's one that I've wanted to do for such a long time, but I really struggled with how I was actually going to film it because my mirror's like on a wardrobe, so I wasn't sure how I'd get the camera behind it and everything, but I sorted it out and I finally filmed it. So this will be kind of a new style of video. I do really like to include beauty things on my channel because I really do like makeup and stuff. I don't do a lot of fancy eyeshadow, but like the rest of it I really do like. If you like this video, please let me know, or if there's anything you think I could improve on, also leave that in the comments below. To start with, I am going to show you like in detail the products I use. You don't have to use these products, but I have tried out like quite a few eyeliners to see what works better for me, so hopefully this might be a bit helpful for you. The first things I use are primers. So the best primer that I've used is the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion, which is the original one. It just looks like this. This is the smaller one. I think it's a travel size because the other one's quite expensive. So I do use this, and if I don't need the eyeshadow to stay on all day but I want it to stay a little bit longer, then I do use the Essence I Love Colour Intensifying Eyeshadow Base, which just looks like this. And this one is £2.99, and this one is, I did actually get this in America and it was like $13, which is I think around 11-ish pounds. I will leave a link to all the products that I mention in the description below. Next I go on to eyeshadow. So the eyeshadow I use is the NYX one, and it's in the shade Whipped Cream. It's just like a very bright white. So the packaging looks like this. The top actually has fallen off. It's like fallen through the packaging, if you can see that, like it moves around. And this is the shade. It's quite powdery, and you'll see in the tutorial it is a very opaque white. It's not just kind of skin colour but lighter, it's like proper white, which I really like. So I do really recommend this eyeshadow. Brush wise, to put on the primer, I use the L'Oreal brush. It doesn't have a name. I think this is actually a concealer brush, but because I don't use this type of brush for concealer, I thought I'd just use it for eye primer. And it is just like this. It's a very flat, so it's quite easy to just like use as a primer brush. Also, by the way, my makeup bag was from Primark a few years ago. They came out with like an Alice in Wonderland design and I just loved it so much. For eyeshadow, I use one of these really simple like eyeshadow cheapy things from Primark. I think I got a pack of 10 or something for £1. These are really good for just like packing on the colour. I mean, it doesn't have to be fancy or anything because I just do like white on my eyes. So I just use this and I feel like it gets me the best result, and it gives me the most like opaque colour, as I've said. And to blend in the eyeshadow, I use the e.l.f. blending eye brush, and it is one of these like $1 ones, and it just looks like this. I do find this brush to be really good. Not as good as the Real Techniques one, but for this colour that I use, it's kind of perfect. So that's the brush I use for my eyeshadow. Eyebrow wise, I do mention in the tutorial that I do dye my eyebrows. So if they've faded a little bit and they're not like as black and they've gone kind of more warm toned, I do use the e.l.f. Wow Brow kind of gel. And this is just, it kind of looks like a mascara, but it basically looks like this. So just kind of like a mini mascara wand, and you just kind of brush that through your eyebrows and it changes the colour of them to like a bit darker. And I did get it in the black shade, so I used that. And if my eyebrows are dark enough, I just use the NYX Control Freak eyebrow gel. And I find this works so well at keeping your eyebrows in place. You can make them like a bit crispy, which some people might not like, but I do like it, and like I've had it in for quite a few hours and like they haven't budged, so I really like this. moving on to eyeliner now. I do have quite a few that I like. I've kind of tested quite a few out by different brands, mainly like the ones you'd find at Superdrug or Boots rather than like high end. I did really like the NYX skinny marker pen or something, but I can't find that anywhere now, and I'm not sure if they replaced it. I used to really like the Epic ink liner, but recently, I don't know if they changed the formula, but it now like bleeds into like the lines around your eyes, so I quickly went off that one. I've kind of narrowed it down to the top 4 that I like, and you'll see in the video which eyeliner I use for each part of the eyeliner. But my top 2, if you're going to go out and buy a liquid liner, is, I've used this for quite a few years now, and it's the Rimmel London Scandaleyes Precision Micro Eyeliner. And this, as I said, I've used for years. It is a kind of felt tip pen, and I do kind of always have one of these on backup, and I just feel like it can give like a really sharp pointed line, but it's also super black and it stays quite a long time. If your eye waters, it can kind of bleed a little bit into your eyes, which I don't like as much. I wouldn't say it's waterproof, even though it says it on here, but generally I think this is a really good eyeliner, and it is £5.99. This was around £5, the e.l.f. brow gel. The NYX eyeshadow was £3, and the NYX Control Freak eyebrow gel is £6. So yeah, really like this eyeliner. The second eyeliner I really recommend, and it's actually one of the ones I've tried more recently, is the Soap & Glory Supercat Skinny Black Ink Eyeliner. I really like this, even though like the actual tip of it is quite long. And I find this to be, again, super like thin, so you can get like the points, and super black, and I feel like it doesn't run as much as the other one, so I do really like this one. I believe that's £6 or £7. I also like the Collection Extreme 24-Hour Felt Tip Liner. I show this in when I actually do the tutorial, but this is quite a thick eyeliner pen, which looks like this. So this is good for filling in the wing. And then the last eyeliner is one that again is more recent, and it's the Maybelline Tattoo Liner, and it is a gel pencil. So it's kind of like a kohl gel pencil rather than a liquid liner. So this one is different to the rest of them. But this one I find really easy for doing the line underneath, just to create like a line so I know where I'm going with the liquid liner. Another kind of eyeliner-y thing is a white pencil that I use. This is the NYX Slide On, Glide On, Stay On Extreme Shine Eyeliner. I think half the names have been rubbed out. It's got quite small because I sharpened it a lot. But this is basically just a white pencil, and it is in the shade Pure White number 4 by NYX, and I find this to be one of the best like white pencils that doesn't like go into your eye too much, and also stays on all day. I did film the tutorial quite a while ago, and this is it, and as you can see the white is still there, and I have had this on for a few hours now, so I feel like this stays really well. Again, I think it's around £6. I keep forgetting the prices. The Collection eyeliner is £2.99 I believe, which is a really good price, and the Maybelline one is around £5. Moving on to mascara now. I am using the Rimmel London Scandaleyes Retro Glam mascara, and I picked this up for around £3 or £4 from Fragrance Direct. Honestly, it's not my favourite mascara. I'll just show you the wand of it. I mean, it's alright, but it's not kind of my favourite. It does like the job, as you can see, but I don't know, I just find it to be quite messy. I do prefer the Maybelline Lash Sensational, which I did also mention. Going on to face products now. A concealer brush I use is the e.l.f. concealer brush. Honestly, like, I don't tend to use this too much, but it is one I keep in just in case I need to get to a hard to reach area. I use the L'Oreal Infallible More Than Concealer in the shade 320 Porcelain, and that is the shade of it. And I feel like this is a really good neutral kind of grey toned concealer, but as you'll see in the video, I do put concealer on my spots and I don't use an actual foundation. I've tried a few foundations, but firstly I can't get the shade right, and also I don't like how thick of a formula it is, and I don't know, I've never really worn foundation. I mean, I like how my skin looks with this on, so I just kind of stuck with this, and it's cheaper. This I believe is around £6 to £8, so I use this. And to blend that in, I use the e.l.f. Ultimate blending brush, which I think works super well, and it is around £6, so not a bad price for a brush, especially for like a face brush, and I think it does the job really well. The last three products are kind of the last few steps, and that is the e.l.f. matte blotting powder. I don't know if they do it in different shades, but I got it in like a super light one. And this is a super good like match for my skin, and it really does make your skin matte. And with that powder I use the e.l.f. powder brush, which is quite dense, but it's like not too dense, so it's really perfect for applying powder. And the last step is the setting spray, which is Revolution Pro Supreme Hold Finishing Spray, but I don't tend to use this all the time because I don't really notice the difference. I just kind of have it, so I'm using it up. But yeah, so that is all the makeup I will be using in the tutorial you're about to see. So as I said, I hope you enjoy it and I hope it's helpful. Keep on watching if you want to see how I do this. So I would have just gone through the makeup things I actually use. I always have everything I use kind of laid out on my floor. I always have clips for if I need to like clip my fringe up or clip parts of my hair back, and I always have my coffee. So usually I do my makeup in like this mirror here. So I've got my mirror like here, you can kind of see the edge of it there, which isn't great. So yeah, I'm gonna see how this goes. First thing I usually do is prime my eyes. As I talked about, I have these two primers. I think I'm just going to my shadow lesson, and if the lighting stays okay, I'll be filming a bit. So I'm just gonna use the Essence primer, and I do use the L'Oreal brush for that. So I usually just put like a dot on each eyelid, kind of like that, and I just blend that in using this brush. Just like that. Hopefully the angle is okay. I mean, I'm not gonna be able to see how well this video goes until I play it back. The next thing I usually do is my eyeshadow. So I just take the NYX one and like one of these super cheapy eyeshadow things, and I usually get like quite a lot on there. So I do put quite a bit on, as you can see, and it doesn't have to be super neat because this does not look super neat. And then I just take the e.l.f. blending brush and just kind of blend that. It does blend quite easily. I mean, it's probably not the best blending. I'm really not the best eyeshadow. But it doesn't really matter too much because the main kind of focus thing is the eyeliner. Next I'm going to move on to eyebrows. So mine are like dyed at the moment. They're not as black and dark as they were, but I'd say they're alright. So I'm going to miss out the step where I put the e.l.f. brow dyeing kind of thing on. I always use the NYX Control Freak eyebrow gel just to like hold them in place. That's that bit done. Now moving on to eyeliner, which is like the main part that everyone wants to see. I do not do my eyeliner like super neatly to begin with. I kind of put it on messily and neaten it up at the end. That's why it will look a bit messy to begin with. So I always start with the Soap and Glory Supercat one. I do have two here because one's slightly older. So I use this one to kind of do the inner point to like all across the lid. So I will just do that now. Just kind kind of like that. And then I try and reflect it like on the other side at this point before I do the whole lid. So I'd say that's okay. So now I'm going to take the newer Soap and Glory one because it's just a bit more black, and kind of just do the eyelid. So until I have something like that, so just kind of like a thickish line across the top of my eyelids. I don't really know how to do a thin line, to be honest. So from that point I start to do like this bit, like the triangle part inside the eye, and I do use again the Soap and Glory one. I will be taking the newer one, so because it's a bit like sharper and more black. I do just drag that kind of to there at this point, and then I'll do the other side. And then I end up with something like this. This one is a bit darker than this one, but I can fix that at the end. And if I do go wrong, I just simply like take a makeup wipe and get rid of it and literally start it again. Now I take my kohl eyeliner pencil. This is the Maybelline tattoo liner. I use this to do the line under my eyes, just to get like quite a thickish line, but it doesn't have to be perfect because I use the liquid liner at the end to kind of make it a lot neater. So until I have something that looks a bit like this, and then I just again do the other side. As you can see, this side isn't going as well. So I'd say that will do for that side. And then I do the wing, and for that I actually use the Rimmel London Scandaleyes eyeliner, and I kind of try and match up to the tip of my eyebrow. And if basically I kind of have like 3 eyeliner styles, either I'll do the line and then do like a tiny wing and not do the line underneath, or I'll do up to this step and then do like a little wing, or I do the huge like dramatic wing, which is the one I'm going to be doing today. I'll just kind of like put like a small line and kind of mirror it up before I actually draw the full line. So like I'd say this is probably closer, maybe. This one's a bit more far out. So I do just take a makeup wipe and kind of just get it where I really want it. And then I just connect it to that like underneath line that I've drawn. And then I do the other side. So until I have something that looks like that. Then using the same eyeliner, I then draw like the line connecting it to my eyelid. So I just kind of start off really narrow and get a bit wider. This is the only time I use the Collection Extreme 24-hour felt tip liner, and that's to actually fill in the wing. This is kind of the basic idea of the eyeliner, but I neaten it up from like this point. So I just kind of like go around and kind of go over the parts that I've already done. Apart from the eyelids, I think they're kind of already done. I usually do this with like a mixture of the Soap and Glory Supercat eyeliner and the Rimmel London Scandaleyes eyeliner. So I'm just going to start with the point and kind of make my way round. So I just go over the line until I have kind of a much thicker, neater line. So I will show you that up close. So this is the line before with just kind of the pencil, and this is the line after, so it is quite a bit thicker, but it does look neater. So now I start to neaten up the wing. So that's this wing neatened up. I've neatened up both the wings. They are fairly similar. I'd say this one goes up a bit more and this one goes out, but that happens. Usually I don't always get it in the same place and everything, but at the end it always kind of looks generally the same. So I'll just show you up close how it looks. So I'm now going to finish the rest of my makeup. For now I'm done with the eyeliner, and now I'm going to be moving on to kind of finishing up the eye with like mascara and stuff, and then moving on to my face makeup. So I take the NYX white eyeliner, and this is more like a pencil, and I line the inside, like, oh, what's it called? Waterline, that's it. So I line the waterline with this white eye pencil and kind of bring it down into this corner that I've made. So as you can see, that has made it quite a bit brighter than this side, and then there is like a gap between the waterline and the eyeliner from where it starts, and I will be filling that in with this pencil as well. And that's what that looks like. If I do go over the eyeliner, I can always add eyeliner, but I think like in this part it's a bit thick anyway. And then I just do that step to this side, and I feel like this finishes it off a lot nicer. It doesn't look like such an obvious gap between where the eyeliner starts and kind of where my eyelashes are. I feel like it just kind of pulls everything together, so I do really like this step, and I think it is kind of important. And that's this step done. So now I'm going to move on to mascara. I have been using this Rimmel London Scandaleyes Retro Glam mascara. I'm not a big fan of it. I am going to use this today, especially as I'm not going out like anywhere kind of fancy. I find this mascara to be a little bit messy, like it's quite a wet formula, and like it always sticks to like this part of my eye. And I think it is kind of more a separating, like lengthening one rather than volume, and I do kind of prefer volume. So I usually do the top lashes first, just to get the most mascara like on those top lashes. So once that's done, I then go into the bottom lashes. I try not to get any on that white part that I've just kind of done. I was really worried like I wouldn't be able to film this today because I planned to film it today because I had like a free morning, and then as I've mentioned, like my cello lessons kind of midday, and I woke up at like 8:30 and my room was pitch black, and I was like, oh no, because it's gonna rain like all day, I think all week too, so like the lighting's really weird. But I tested it and it was like, oh okay, it's fine. Obviously it's like brightened up, but I was kind of worried it was gonna stay dark all day. So the mascara is done. I have just wiped like the bit that went up here, and that's kind of the main eye makeup part of it. I've mentioned this before, but I don't use actually a foundation, otherwise I'm sure I'd be putting it on first before like the eye makeup and stuff. I do, as you've probably noticed in like all the close-ups, I do have a few spots. Sometimes like my skin's better than others, like on different days. Sometimes I'll just have like the odd spot, sometimes I'll have a few more. At the moment I've got like a few more, which isn't great, but they are on their way out. But I do just like to cover those with a bit of concealer. I found the L'Oreal Infallible Concealer, and I have this in the shade 320 Porcelain, and this is perfect. Like this is even more my skin tone than the Kat Von D one. So I literally just kind of dot this on the areas where I feel like I have the most spots. I don't have any on my forehead at the moment, so that's not an issue. And I do use the blending brush by ELF. I do try and make it even as well. Like if I've got a lot of spots on this side, then I'll put like a tiny bit kind of mirrored on the other side, just so it's a bit more even. And I'd say that's kind of all I really put on. Sometimes it's a bit more, sometimes it's less. And then I do just blend that in. I do also put it under my eyes because I do have like darkness under there. So I do just like to put a little bit under there. And as you can see, it's quite like, it gets rid of the redness and all the spots and everything. It is coming up quite pale on camera, like it's really not that different to my skin tone. It blends in like super easily. Just kind of blend that all over my face just to make sure it's kind of even. And then if there's any areas that I still feel like are coming through, I do just go over with kind of a second layer. I feel like my nose is like a bit darker. Then to kind of finish it off, I do use the ELF matte blotting powder. I love this stuff. I think you can get it here. I haven't seen it in Superdrug, but you can buy it off the ELF like UK website. This one is literally matte. Like if I didn't have this face makeup on and my face was like a bit oily and I put this on, it would like go matte, which is really impressive. And it is again more of like a skin colour tone rather than like stark white. And I do use the ELF powder brush. I do like ELF. So I just kind of get a bit on the brush and then just kind of like push it into my face rather than like swiping it all over it. And like, I don't know if I'll be able to show you, but like if you see this, like it's not too oily. But if I put like a bit of this, like, do you see how it's lost that kind of shine? I don't know how well that's picking it up. But compared to like the rest of my forehead, I love this stuff. If you've got oily skin and you really like matte but not like drying matte, then I definitely recommend this. So this is kind of the last step that I do. Sometimes I use a setting spray, but I never really notice a difference with the wear time. So I won't be using this today. As I said, I'm just going to a shadow lesson. But that's the makeup done. I will try and get some like better shots of it once I've done my hair and everything, because this is like literally naturally, like it's not wavy, it's just kind of, it's gonna stick out at weird angles. After I do my hair, I will get some like better shots of the eyeliner, but just to kind of show you what the end result looks like, so you can still see like some of the spots. So it's not like a super, I mean it is a concealer, it's not supposed to be like a foundation, but I do feel like from afar you can't see it as well, which is kind of what I like, and I don't like heavy face makeup. That is my kind of everyday makeup, I'd say. I don't always do this eyeliner, but I did used to almost do this eyeliner every day, so that is the finished makeup. So I hope you enjoyed this makeup tutorial. As I said at the beginning, let me know if there's anything I could improve on, and also what you liked, whether like the angle was okay. As I mentioned, like I'm only gonna see how it turned out when I go to edit it, so hopefully it was okay. I do plan to do some more makeup videos in the future. I'm planning a Maybelline liquid lipstick review, which I might film after this. Please consider subscribing if you like this type of content. I mainly do like fashion and outfit kind of content rather than beauty, but I do really like beauty as well. Leave a like if you did enjoy it, and as I said, comment down below, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!